My name is Masha, and I'm proud and curly.
Welcome to the Proud and Curly podcast, the podcast all about celebrating naturally curly hair. I'm Sierra, your host and founder, also known as C. Johnson on YouTube and Instagram, and you, my girlfriend, are in the right place. Every Friday, you'll get new insight and curlspiration on how to manage and maintain your natural curls. It doesn't matter if your hair is a wavy 2A type, a kinky 4C texture, or if you're anywhere in between. After the episode, the conversation always continues on the Proud and Curly Instagram page, so be sure to follow us there. Hi guys, welcome back to the Proud and Curly podcast. Today I'm finally bringing you episode number 8. In today's episode, we're talking about what really is good hair and how you can care for whatever kind of hair you got. Today we're talking with Masha. So sorry about the lapse in uploads, guys. Don't worry, we are back here with this episode, and we have some exciting news coming out soon about how you, yes, you listening right now, can be a part of this show. So stay tuned to our Instagram and make sure you are following us at Proud and Curly because all of the details will be posted there next week. Anyways, in this episode, we're talking with a good friend of mine, Masha T. Jones. She is a writer, producer, teacher, and low-key a comedian who has had her natural hair for about 20 years. Her story is hilarious, and I was literally taking notes this whole time. She was dropping some gems, so be sure to pay attention. And as always, stay tuned for the fire round of questions, the Curly 5 at the end of the episode. All right, let's get into it. Hi, Masha. Thanks for joining the show.
Hi, Sierra.
So I've known you for quite a while, and I know all about your hair, and you've helped me a lot with my hair. But can you start with introducing yourself?
Sure. My name is Masha Jones. I'm originally from Greensboro, North Carolina, and now stuck in Savannah. I teach film, and I work at a cupcake shop, so that's not too bad. I've been natural for, since late 90s, early 2000s. The struggle is real. I kind of had to go natural. Wasn't really a choice.
What?
Okay.
What do you mean?
So I was in my friend's wedding, my best friend's wedding at the time, and I've been struggling with my hair. I couldn't find right products, and I was still, relaxing my hair. And one of my childhood friends was like, "Oh, I'll cut your hair for you." And my friend was like, "Don't cut your hair. It's going to look great. I want you to look just like you do." Well, she cut all my freaking hair off to the point where I couldn't get a hot curler in it.
Oh, and, no.
Yeah. So I had to show up at the wedding like, "Hi." So on top of that, right after that, it started growing out and I was nannying and I put a relaxer in my hair, and I didn't know at the time that I was getting ill. I was developing some health issues, and I fell asleep with the relaxer in my hair for an hour to 2 hours.
Wait, was this before or after you got it all cut off?
After. It had just started growing back in. And so it looked like, I looked kind of like an Oompa Loompa, like it was all stuck together,
Oh, Lord.
Thank God it was on a weekend, so I didn't have to go to work. Kind of coincidentally, I had ordered some wind after watching an infomercial in the middle of the night because I was using Dove, and it used to work great on my hair, right? And then all of a sudden they changed their formulas to be 500 formulas in one, so I had to buy 3 different shampoos to make it work like the one did, so nothing was working. And I told you it was drama. So I got the win the next day. It was a miracle. And everybody told me, "Oh my God, you're going to have to shave all your hair." And I had done braids. I had done this. I had done everything trying to get my hair to grow back. And so I put the win in and I had to do it 3 times, but it brought my hair back to life. Believe it or not.
After you left the permanent?
After I left so a lot of it broke off. But yes, it actually softened it and I could get a comb through it and because before that I couldn't get a comb through it. Like I broke a comb and I couldn't find the pieces for like 4 days. So
oh my gosh.
I told you the struggle with my hair was real. Yeah, it was like I'm like 3 days later I'm like peeling pieces of the comb out of it, like in the line at Walmart, like trying not to be embarrassed. But but in the early 2000s, there weren't a lot of products in North Carolina. Like, maybe if I had been in New York or Atlanta, there may have been a few more options. So I'm like piecing it together, like buying some Iso plus buying some hemp grease, plus, buying some stuff called noodle head. Like I was trying to find anything I could to make my hair curl, because I've always loved curly hair and natural hair. But, back in the day, you couldn't go and say like, I want to go natural, because it was like, you won't get a job. You can't look like that. They'll, because people still associated natural hair.
Yeah, the mindset.
Yeah, like the 60s, right? Like, I'm going to go blow up a building if I got natural hair. And I never understood that.
Yeah.
Like, Becky can go out with her natural hair. They don't think she going to blow nothing up. Like, why can't I? So, was it still acceptable? And it was a struggle. I struggled for about 3 or 4 years, my hair not drying, looking like I had the Jerry curl drip because my hair wouldn't dry. And let me tell you something, there's nothing worse than getting in a pool with all those hair products in your hair and like trying to swim and like your eyes burning from all the products in your hair. Yes. It was torture.
Just like a film of products, just all
right.
of them.
Anyway, no, literally. It would create this film, little kids swimming away from you, like.
Oh my God!
This is like a year after year after year, and I was like, there has got to be something that works on my hair, so I don't have to look like like Soul Glow, from the 80s, or like Michael Jackson in a Pepsi commercial. Like I'm trying not to die here. And so for a while, I just said, screw it, I'm gonna get braids, right? Well, my hair had started growing back thanks to the wind, and braids and the African girls, I was getting micros, and I have really super thick, tight, curly hair, like little tiny ringlets of hair. Mm-hmm. And it was taking 9, 10, 12 hours to get my hair braided, and also $300 to $400 on top of me buying 100% human hair, right?
Oh my gosh.
Because, I can't be synthetic, girl. I couldn't do it back in the day. I was allergic to the synthetic hair. I had issues.
Wow. $300? $300
for
the hair?
Yeah, because I would use, because, I'm a little bougie at times. I'm a little bit of a diva, as my friends have told me. So, of course, I would buy like 16, 18-inch, 100% human, wet and wavy hair. So I'd have like half of it braided and the rest of it out with cornrows in the front, which I will never do again. Those things
that's coming back in style.
Okay, they can have it, because the 2 African girls would be on my head, and I would be like seasick. So, and that brought me back to childhood. Okay, that brought me back to being in the beauty parlor all freaking day. Does anybody?
Oh my gosh!
I don't know. You probably have a different childhood than I had. There were 5 women in our household. I'm an only child.
Well, we went every 2 weeks, but it was like once I was like 8, because I didn't want to get my hair plaited anymore.
I wish.
And I wanted it pressed and straight. And
I wish. Me, my mom, my aunt, my grandmother, and sometimes one of my aunts from one of my grandmother's other daughters from what we call down home, down in Burlington and Saxby Hall, North Carolina, would come, or my aunt from Maryland would be there for the summer. So 5 women in the beauty parlor on a Saturday every week.
Oh, no.
And you can't just go and get your hair done at a black beauty shop, right? You can't do that. You get there, she doing 15 other heads, and when you get there, why do they always have to eat? Why she always got to get her chicken wings and corn on the cob right then? you don't want that in your hair.
Corn on the cob.
Because there was
always got hot fries.
Oh my God. But always got something she had to get, a fish fry was going on in the parking lot. So she got to get her hands going to be stinking with some hot sauce. I'm like, that's not going in my head.
Yeah.
And then they leave you under the dryer. You're like, I think my hair's done. No, you sit under there a little bit longer. Your ears all burn up.
I don't know if it's dry.
Right.
Well, my brain is dry, right. So.
My skin is dry. My skin is tight. See, I think that's the real reason black don't crack. I think we got facelifts as children.
What?
I think all that heat from the dryer just dried that skin and just pull it tight. Pulling it tight.
Oh my God.
Because I would always get curly styles after I would get it, because I always wanted my hair curly. So they would and those things would be so tight on my head, eyebrows.
The rollers?
Yeah, some rollers. They tighten them rollers. And they always told me, you want to look like a little old lady. And I was like, no, that's just the only way you know how to do my hair. And I wanted to look like, I was an 80s kid, so I wanted to look like Farrah Fawcett. And they were like, why you want to look like a white girl? I was like, because I don't want to look like a little old lady. And that's my only other choice right now. It was either Patrice Rushen, with braids and beads on the end, or Farrah Fawcett, or a little old lady, or Platt. That was my only choice. I had nothing else. Or Tootie. I could look like Tootie from Facts of Life. Those were our choices, right? So for a long time, I avoided going to the beauty parlor because I got scarred, seriously scarred at the beauty shop. I stopped going. I just didn't want to go. I begged my mom to do my hair. Now, that's a whole other issue because my mom is not the most attentive person. Love her, God bless her. But she would get on the phone on Saturdays. And, I don't know if anybody remembers because, you're of a different generation, but hot combs.
We had hot combs.
The ones that you sit on the stove, not the ones you plug in.
No.
Okay, so they would sit on the stove. Exactly. You sit on the stove, okay?
What?
Yes.
I think I've seen that.
Girl, trust me. Trust me, you do not want your mama to forget because you're making lunch, she ironing clothes, she on the phone, you watching TV, my uncles are coming in and out, messing with people, people coming to the house on Saturday. That's if we didn't go to the beauty shop. So then she's got to grease my head up, pull that hot comb through. But why was she always on the phone, combing my hair and ironing clothes at the same time?
Wow.
So ears all burn up again. So I didn't, my ears were toe up my whole childhood, right? Scalp burn up. And I'd be like, ow, you came to see my play, and that scene in my play is specifically about that moment in my childhood.
Oh.
when my mom would be doing my hair and ow, I'd be screaming, and she'd be like, shut up, I ain't feel nothing. And it popped me on the head with that damn hot comb. What?
Oh, God.
How am I getting in trouble and you burning my head? And then she'd be like, oh, baby, I'm sorry. And fix me some Kool-Aid. That was supposed to make up for me having a big burnt spot that was going to show. Because, you had to get that part down in the head, right? To get that part just right. She's like, nobody will see it. Then you got to go to school, get picked on, because everybody had it. Little Vaseline on your ear from when you got burnt. You got teased as a kid. Your mama burnt you with a hot comb, So the next time, yeah. So I stopped going. And then the next time I went back to get my hair done. See, this is all related, going back to that first story, okay? I was at the mall. I was in 6th grade, and my mom left me, knowing that I had this phobia of hairdressers, right? I don't know. I guess all of this kind of built up to it. So I don't really know what gave me the phobia, but this added to it. She left me in the mall getting my hair done. And I was like, what?
You were telling me something else about her leaving you somewhere.
Oh.
So these are all the phobias.
These are all the phobias. Oh, left me on a bus when I was a kid. We ain't going to get into that one. But My mom was special. I love her. But she wanted to go shopping, and she's like, thought I needed to grow up, which was probably true. But I had really long hair at that point. Like, it was down past my shoulders, part of my life. And, people were always like, this is also from my play. Everybody would be like, you got Indian in you? Like, a black person can't have long hair? Like, I have to be Indian or have to be something else to be, because we can't have long hair. Nobody in Africa had long hair or anything like that or whatever. Has to be attributed to colonialism or something. I don't know. So, and plus I was light skinned. So they would always be like, well, you must have good hair because you were light skinned, And like, I'm like, what is good hair?
What is good hair?
I don't know what good hair is because if the definition of good hair is silky smooth, can get a comb through it, my hair is back before Africans were discovered. And
that's not what it is.
That's not what it is?
No, that's not my definition of it.
Well, then that's not what I have on my head.
You do have it on your head, according to my definition.
I do. Okay, you know why? Because I have good product.
What? No, that's not what I was going to say. I was going to say good hair is the hair that comes out of your scalp the way God made it. Okay, then I have good hair. You can't get a comb through it, but it's good. Like, you don't need to get a comb through it. You can get your fingers through it. Okay, I can get my fingers kind of. I can't do that either. Not without product. A little bit, No, not the way my hair is. Put your fingers in it. How about that? I can't get them back out then. Okay. All you need is some water. No, I am not that person. You put water on my hair. Okay. So I know you only want a few stories. But yes, Sierra, yeah. When I got, so you know how I told you I stopped putting product in my hair anytime I have to go into like water, right? When I got baptized as an adult, I didn't put any product in my hair because I didn't want that pool, I didn't want that embarrassing thing. The holy water? Right, I didn't want the oily water in the holy water, right? And when they dipped me down in the pool, my hair didn't soak up any of the water. It just like repelled it all. Oh, wow. And it came up and then like this waterfall came off and it just made my hair look like a helmet on my head. And it just dripped for hours on end. Oh, wow. Oh, no. I look like one of them troll dolls. Not as silky. I think that's low porosity hair, right? Yeah. It takes a lot. Like, y'all, you do not understand. My search for good products was long and hard. One of the products I used, I realized was taking the stain and enamel off of one of my coffee tables. And I thought, it makes my hair look good, but should I really be putting this in my head? Oh, gosh. That's not safe. I don't think that's safe. Yeah. It took a long time. Well, back to the lady that gave me the other thing. She cut my hair. Like. In the mall? Yeah, cut it like. Oh, okay. It was down to my shoulder. She cut it all the way to the nape of my neck. Oh, gosh. And I because there was nobody else in there. And that was like a big thing. Like, you got to watch out for black beauticians because they'll cut your hair. And that's still a thing. Like, I don't know, is it jealousy? I don't know what it is. Like, they just want to cut your hair. And so she cut my hair, and I had to walk around the mall looking for my mama with this big chunk. And so my mom was like, well, just cut it all off, I guess. And I was like, what? So my hair kind of went in shock for years. Wouldn't grow. Finally started getting to grow. Went to another lady. She cut my hair in like zigzags to get the hairstyle I wanted. And I was like, if you can't do it, What? So that's also the lady that messed up my eyebrows. Like, this is years later when I was in junior high. Like, I think that was 6th grade. The next time I was convinced to go back to a hair beautician was 8th grade. And my mom left me again, and the lady cut my hair in zigzags. And I could see people like, oh.
And I'm like sitting there, and then she like did my eyebrows and dropped the razor blade on my eyebrow and took my eyebrow. Like, see, I have trauma from going to beauticians. Trauma.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like, I was just like, no, I will not do this again. So probably from 9th or 10th grade, I started going to people in their homes. Like, for some reason, that was more trustworthy for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have to wait. Like, I had to know like 6 or 7 people. I was like destined to be an investigator because I was like, who else did their hair? She did your hair? Okay, let me see you for about 6 months before I would go to them, because I'm like, I'm not letting you touch my hair. And they would all use products, they had all this alcohol and, so my hair would look nice, but it was still unhealthy.
Yeah.
So that persisted up and through college, but I was still relaxing it because what else were you going to do? It was like dreads weren't cool back then, and natural hair just looked nasty, really. Like people who did natural hair, it didn't really look clean. Afros weren't in style. It was more like either the people who were very, what we would call granola, the black kids that hung out with the white kids that were tree huggers and hippies and stuff like that. Not in a disparaging way, that's just the way we associated it. So for me to find something to work on my hair actually happened by a misunderstanding.
Yeah, because there weren't a lot of products that were just openly available like there are now, like that are for curly hair or, marketed towards it, that are natural.
Right. Like it didn't really happen. It didn't really happen until a few years ago, widely.
Yeah.
When I started, I had to order my products. A friend of mine told me about Miss Jessie's, and I thought she said she had used it. So I ordered them, and they're expensive, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I had been using the Win, which was keeping my hair soft, but not all of the products worked on my hair. The cleansing conditioner worked, and the hair mask worked, but the things that were supposed to make it curly or make it shine, and the hair serum, the oil, was nice, but it didn't do what I needed to do as far as. So I was still twisting my hair every night, which took hours. It still wasn't giving me what I wanted to look like. And then the next thing that happened was when I got it, I tried the little sample packs. Well, Sierra, you've seen my hair. For those of you who haven't, it is super, 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 super thick. Like, I don't even, like bull's lamb, sheep thick. I'm closer to a woolly mammoth than I am a girl. So I was skeptical, but the little sample pack was only 2 ounces. So I could only do like one section of my hair with the little sample pack. That section looked great.
Oh my gosh.
I'm trying like 3 different products and I'm getting 3 different curls. And I was like, okay, let me just buckle down, right? So I order it, but they don't do any kind of free shipping. So at that time I had a good enough job that I could afford this. So I ordered a bunch of it, and the shipping cost was so much that I could have ordered another product.
The shipping costs as much as the product.
Yeah.
How much was it back then?
It's actually stayed the same price. Interestingly, actually,
so like $20.
Yeah. I went ahead and ordered the 16 ounce of the curly pudding and the curly meringue, which were $38, and then the peach, and then I ordered the I'm trying to think of what it's called. It's the buttermilk. I can't think of the actual name of it. But it's like the curling cream. It's like a moisturizer.
Girl.
Yeah.
I don't know. I only tried like, what is their product?
And I found that you really do have to watch videos. I had to watch it with Win because I stripped my hair with the Win because I thought it doesn't lather. So how can it strip your hair? But I kept massaging it in and massaging it in and massaging it in, and I got out the shower and looked like the Bride of Frankenstein. And I said, let me watch this video one more time. So, I learned that you really do, I know there's a lot of controversy about that product taking people's hair out, but I've used it for 15 years and it's the only thing that's made my hair grow. It protects me from the Savannah water. Savannah water is dangerous for your hair.
And to drink.
So that was working. So then I watched the video about taming your hair because a lot of our hair tends to grow up and out.
Mm-hmm.
And so, we get really frustrated with our hair. We want our hair to go long and, we want Becky with the good hair, but black version, right? How do we get our hair to go down? Well, that was the first time I had found a video that explained how to train my hair to go down. And it was about...
And what was this?
So you take sections of your hair, and it's very important to emulsify the product, right? Put a little product in, put some water in your hair, you massage it in, like you take a section, and you massage it in, and then once you get it in, then you take your fingers and rake it through, and then smooth it and leave it down. And it took my hair's a little stubborn, so it took about 2 weeks to start seeing it go down and about a month for it to naturally do that. And now my hair will go down immediately when I put my product in. But it doesn't always, unless I don't do that. And if I poof it up, I learned to scrunch my hair with the wind to get the curl pattern to start. I knew white girls that scrunch their hair that had curly hair, back in the days when we used mousse. But it is important to get your curl pattern started in the shower.
Yeah.
I learned to do my hair in the shower versus the sink and to use conditioner instead of shampoo. Especially if you want healthy curls, because it's all about moisture. Mm-hmm. You've got to keep your hair moisturized. You've got to keep your hair moisturized. So if you don't want frizzy hair, if you don't want it kinky, and I don't mind my kinky so much anymore, but if you don't want it crazy kinky, then you got to keep it moisturized. So you've got to find, and it's all about balance. It's about what order do you put the products in? What order do you put it in? You need, in Savannah, especially places that are very humid, you often need a gel. So this is what I use. I use my Wind shampoo and my or cleansing conditioner and my Wind hair mask, which cannot order straight to Wind because it costs way too much. We ain't gonna talk about it. That the 4-ounce hair mask is like $58 if you order it straight to Wind. I go through QVC or Guppy Ranker. It's fine. And I get it off I get it off eBay for $29, whatever, because I can't pay $58 for 4 ounces of product.
Wow.
It's really expensive, but it works.
And what does that do? That puts the moisture back in? Yeah. So after I do the cleanse, so here's my regimen. Okay.
I figured we should get there, right?
Yeah.
I take the Wind, I get in the shower when I'm ready to do it, and I put Wind in, and then I run my head through the shower, and I start, I wash my face or something, and then Wind came with a really great comb, which I really think that man might be half black somewhere, because this comb is perfect. It has a wide tooth end, and then narrower end, kind of like combs that we're used to using, but it's just a little bit different, a little bit harder, thicker, so it doesn't snap like some of the ones you get from Walmart or the Chinese hair store. So I take the wide tooth end first and comb through it, and then I take the small tooth end. This is a long time, so I have to have I'm not going nowhere for a while. I take the small end and I get as much of the dead hair out as I can. And I try to do that at least once every 2 weeks to every week. Really, right now it's every 2 to 3 weeks because I'm tired. So I do that, and then you
start with the small end.
No, I start with the big end.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
No, I start with the big end, and I do that sometimes twice.
Jesus.
No.
Okay.
Start with the big end. No, actually, I start with my fingers first, and then I go in with the big end.
Okay, good.
And then I go in with the small end. Sometimes 2 or 3 times. Then I rinse the Wind out, and I put more Wind in, and I go back in with the big end.
Mm-hmm.
If it's been a long time, I have to do that twice to get all of that dead hair out, because that'll keep your hair from getting those nice, pretty curls. And then once I get all of that out, I put the amount of Wind in that I need, and I go section by section, and I don't do what I would do with shampoo. I simply massage it in sections, and then I scrunch it. and then I leave it, and I take an extra long shower. This is like, face mask, scrubbing. The more humidity it gets in your hair,
to steam it,
the better it works. Yeah, the better it works. So then when it's done, I rinse all of that out. Now, usually what I do, if I'm going to use the hair mask, by that time, usually I don't have any hot water left. So if I'm going to do the hair mask, I will try to do that regimen like the day before and then wash it the next day and put the mask in and let that be the thing I steam in. That adds super moisture and actually detangles it because the wind like detangles it. It's a leave-in conditioner. It just does everything you need. So it's just like one product. I don't have to use a separate detangler, which is fantastic. I also really like detangling brushes. I prefer the Tangle Teaser. Other people prefer other ones. The Tangle Teaser just works for my hair because I can.
Have you tried the Demnon brush?
I did, but the Tangle Teaser just goes through my hair like butter.
Oh, okay.
It gets out more of the dead hair for me. Like I can do it in 5 minutes. The Demnon brush tended to break my hair versus the Tangle Teaser.
I've used the wet brush and the Tangle Teaser, and the Tangle Teaser was harsher on my hair to me.
Yeah, I could see that, but for me, it just didn't. It just like, you know how you get those little balls on the end of your hair if you hadn't done that in a while. It got those out without breaking my ends.
Oh,
so that's why.
So what is your? Sorry, okay. What is your definition of dead hair?
For me, dead hair is overprocessed, and that could be even natural hair can be overprocessed. Too much product, too much heat. Too much
meat, like I know what you're trying to say. Like too much manipulating.
Yeah, I mean, most of us have to use like fiber. This is the secret. You have to use multiple products for your hair because you have about 8 different textures. So stop beating yourself up that this hair curls better than this hair.
Yes, get into
it. Like it's okay. Very few people can just use water and grease. Very few people. And I was in forensics. You have 8 different textures of hair on your head, whether you know it or not. So not all of your hair is going to curl the same. Not all of your hair is going to respond to the product the same. So it's okay to need to use more product in the back of it. Like the crown of my head, the back of the crown of my head is much denser than the rest of my hair. But that hair actually curls. The front of my hair, which is lighter and fluffier, actually takes more product to get it to curl. And it took me years to figure that out, but I'm okay with that. I can just put in a little product in the back of my hair and it'll curl like gorgeousness. The sides of my hair may look like Bobo the Clown if I put the same amount of product in there. So, and
that's true. I've been like trying to figure that out because the back of my hair has like a looser pattern. The middle of my hair is like really tight. And then the front of my hair is just always dry. And I'm just like, really?
So like for the back of my hair, I can put less moisture in because it holds moisture better. And, the longer it takes for your hair to dry is actually better because that means it's holding moisture in and it's healthier. So when my hair is really healthy. Yeah, go ahead.
So is it possible for me to have different porosities on my head? Like different...
absolutely.
Why? What? Because that's how... What?
Yeah, like if you have a different texture, that's going to have a different porosity.
I can't. Because, that makes a lot of sense. I never even thought about it like that, but that makes... Because the back of my hair, it'll be looking like juiciness. And it'll be straight just water, like just with a little bit of like my deep conditioner left in it. Straight, it's like fine. The top of my hair, it's like still damp, but it looks dry and like frizzy.
Right. It makes sense. So that part of your hair needs more moisture to get the same effect.
Oh, Lord.
So that means it needs a little more product or a little more...
a lot more.
a lot more. But usually it's not in the curling product that it needs more moisture. It's usually in your whatever you put in for your moisture, your hair grease, right? Your buttermilks, that's what it's called, I think.
The butters and the creams.
Yeah, your butters, your creams. I really like Shea Moisture's Kids Buttercream. I like Shea Moisture's curling smoothie, but you have to mix it with the curling souffle to make it work best.
Oh.
I actually learned that from a video. I wish I could give credit to the girl's video that I saw that on, but I don't remember her name. And then you only need a tiny bit of the curling souffle because that works more like a grease. But when you mix those together, it's perfect. So, I still spend, like, people are like, they come up to me in the stores and like, oh, your hair looks so good. What do you use? And I tell them and they go, oh, that didn't work for my hair. Like,
that's so true. They're like, oh, I can't use that. I don't have hair like yours. And you're like, what?
I'm like, and I tell them, I'm like, my hair is straight out of Africa before white people and even other Africans discovered my tribe way down in the deep forest. So it's all about, like, my hair responds differently. If I put my Miss Jessie's on first, I end up using more product because the moisture in that, my hair soaks it up so much. So I usually put my hair grease on first or tiny bit of Miss Jessie's on. Then I still call it grease, my creams, my things. Then I put more Miss Jessie's on, and I use Miss Jessie's curly pudding, Miss Jessie's holy custard, and Miss Jelly soft curls, along with a buttercream, in my hair. And then I put a lot on. Like, a lot of people don't realize how much Miss Jessie's you have to put on the first time you put it on, and how wet your hair needs to be. You don't need to be going nowhere because, trust me, you will look like Jerry Curl Jesus walking out the door. So you see me, like, your hair is soaking wet. It's white. I know. And then by the end of the day, it's like glorious. But I can't put any heat on my hair I can't diffuse it because it looks dry. My hair can't take heat. It can't even take like light heat. But if it dries too fast, like, in the Savannah summer, if you go outside and that humidity hits your hair and it dries too fast, then your product gets white. So it's not always the product. Sometimes it's where you live. When I was out in Arizona, when I took a vacation to Vegas, or Nevada, and I was in Tulsa, my hair looked great. The humidity was perfect. It dried perfect. It was curly. It moved in the air. I was like, ooh, would I move again just to have good hair? This is a thought.
Wow. See, nobody ever talks about like this kind of stuff. Like, you'll be like, oh, usually like Black people, like with natural hair, usually put their hair in braids or like put their hair away when they travel because, you don't know what it's going to do, but nobody actually like talks about how to do it when you travel, like how to maintain it looking good.
When I went to, and I think I had just started Miss Jessie's when I went to Nevada, and it was just like, what? Like, my hair was like these perfect ringlets of curls, and they were just blowing in the wind. I was like, what?
You're like, can you come back with me to Savannah?
Right. And no, I was in North Carolina. When I moved back to North Carolina, I went back to North Carolina. My hair was like, and even then, like, I still thought I had to twist my hair with Miss Jessie's when I first started. I was still twisting it. And one day I was just like, I don't have time. I ran it through. I did what the video said. I ran to work and I walked into this little school. All these little kids were looking at me like, I was like, I don't even know. They were just like I was a life-size Barbie, Black Barbie walking into the door. They were like, oh, and one girl goes, you're so beautiful. I'm like, what is happening? And even teachers like, Major, you look so nice. I'm like, what is happening right now? And then finally somebody was like, what did you do different to your hair today? It looks good. I said, oh, my hair probably looks terrible. I didn't do anything to it. They were like, you didn't do anything to your hair. I go in the bathroom and I'm like, what are these gorgeous locks and ringlets and perfect spirals? That is how I found out I didn't have to do all that with Miss Jessie's.
You fell in love with wash and go?
I was like, because when I was a kid, like I used to tell my mom I wanted to be a white girl because because my white friends could like go to school with their hair wet and it would dry in a style. But how does it dry in a style? It was like a superpower. I wanted that superpower. And I was like, I finally have it.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, that was that was my superpower. I was like, Miss Jessie is my superpower.
Oh.
But it did take a lot of trial and error and a lot of trying products. If you find it's too heavy, then there's a curly pudding or there's a curly custard. The curly custard is lighter. I can use that in North Carolina. I can't use it in Savannah because of the humidity.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. So it really depends on where you are as to which product works. I need different amounts of moisturizers. I need different amounts of gel depending on where I go. I need to put it on in a different order depending on if I want loose curls or if I want tight curls. Yeah, so it just depends. Like you really have to play with it and find out what your hair does, but you really have to pay attention to what your hair responds to.
Yeah, that's definitely been like the hardest thing for me is just to take that time and the money to buy all the different products. Yeah. And just try out different techniques and then actually measure what's working and what's not, on certain sections of your hair.
Right. Right. I mean, it is a lot of money. Like I thought going natural was going to be a lot cheaper and faster and more convenient. It is not. It's none of those things.
It is high maintenance.
It is a lot of high maintenance.
If you want it to look, bright, if you want it to look the best.
Right. And so, and the other thing is your hair is temperamental. Just because it worked on Tuesday does not mean it's going to work the same on Thursday.
What?
Women go through hormonal changes. Your hair goes through changes. Your hair responds differently to what you ate. It responds differently to your stress levels. It responds differently to all of those things. Your environment, were you around somebody who was smoking? Were you around, chemicals? Were you in, you know what I mean? Like, what were you doing that day? So it responds differently to all the environmental things, just like your skin. Like we pay attention to it with our skin, right?
Mm-hmm.
You pay attention if you went to a house party or a kickback and somebody was smoking and you had alcohol or you had this or you had too much chocolate or you had too much this or you had greasy food. We pay attention to our skin. Why do we think that doesn't affect our hair or our health? Or do we have a cold? Do we have allergies? Are we taking medications? All of those things can affect your hair. Your hair technically isn't alive. Everything that's going out of your scalp is technically dead.
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't mean it has to look dead, But
and it's still alive. Like it all starts within the scalp. So
it all starts within the scalp. And so keeping your scalp clean, and we don't pay enough attention about massaging. We go to one of the things that we love about going to the beautician is getting our scalp massaged. They don't do that for grins and giggles, y'all. That helps your scalp.
I used to just get it scratched. Oof.
Yep. But they do all that because it's stimulates your scalp,
Yeah.
Okay, if you think about it, like we loofah our skin, right? We love sponges and scrubbies. It stimulates your skin. It helps your blood flow. It stimulates your follicles. It gets rid of dead skin. There's still dead skin on your scalp.
Mm-hmm.
You want to get that off. So getting that off at home is just as important as getting it off once or twice a week. So a lot of times I'll put just a little tiny bit of wind in my hair midweek and scratch my scalp out in the shower. Because that dead skin is not being exfoliated in my scalp like it is on my body every day. And that product buildup is not being exfoliated.
Yeah.
We wash off our lotions, we wash off all that, because if you didn't, your pores would be clogged and, we wouldn't do that to our skin, so why do we do that to the skin on our scalp?
How often do you do your hair regimen?
When I was healthier, I did it. I used to wash my hair every 3 days. And
oh, wow.
Yeah. when I was healthier and had more money to do it. I did it every 3 days because I found that was where my hair grew the best, looked the healthiest. I got the dead hair out. I stimulated my scalp. I added moisture back into it. A serious deep wash was like once a week, but I would do like a mini wash in midweek. And then,
okay.
And then it went to every 2 weeks. In the winter, I get away with doing it about every 2 weeks. But in the summer, I really need to do it like because of the heat and the sweating and all of that. Because, sweat has a lot of sodium in it and you don't want to put a lot of salt water in your hair. Because just think about what your hair looks like after a day at the beach. So,
yeah.
Or if I'm very active, I want to get that stuff out of my hair. So, and I've been really lax about it and been complaining about my hair looking terrible, but I haven't been giving it love either. And I've tried all these cheaper products. I've tried, if I go to this African American hair store in Greensboro, North Carolina, and they are always telling me, oh, you should try Uncle Funky's daughter. You should try this or you should try that. I have natural hair and that's what I use it, but they have natural hair and they blow it dry or they braid it up. And I'm like, so how do I know it works? Right?
Oh, yeah.
Like I got followed. This is one day when my hair was looking like super nice. Like I was like walking around knowing I looked good. And this white woman was following me around at a Sam's Club. And she was following me around because of the smell of my hair, because Miss Jessie smells like... It was hilarious. I finally like stopped and turned around and she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Your hair, you smell so good.
What?
I was like, what?
That is
true. It smells like
though.
Coconut and vanilla and maybe a little hibiscus,
You have like a
and also
nice little fragrance just from your hair.
Right. From my hair because I can't wear perfume, which is hilarious.
Oh.
And there's actually Miss Jessie's product that I'm allergic to. I love it, but I can't take the scent of it because I'm allergic to it. So, that's another thing. Like you need to look out for allergies. Are you allergic to the product? We don't think about that.
This is a lot of stuff we don't think about.
The only reason I had time to think about it, I think is because I got sick and I was spending a lot of time at home in the bed. And all I had time was to think. But I have a funny story to tell you when I first started using this. We had a butterfly bush outside of our house. And hummingbirds used to come. And I had on that particular product, by the way. It's a stretching cream that makes the curls in your hair stay longer. And I only need a tiny bit, but the scent of it I'm just highly allergic to. I think they make it unscented now. But it smells so good. It smells like candy. It's like perfect. And it really worked, but that one tended to dry my hair out, so I needed more moisture. The hummingbird stopped and was like going back and forth between me and the butterfly bush. Me and the butterfly bush. Like it was trying to make a decision which one to go to, and it took a dive towards my head.
Oh, God.
My neighbors are all outside cracking up laughing.
You're trying to like dodge the bird.
I'm trying to dodge this damn hummingbird that thinks my hair is like nectar of the gods or something.
Just like pulls out a whole strand of your hair, like
right? Like I had to like run back into the house because it was like coming for me.
Oh my God.
Like, oh my God. I was like, got white ladies following me around and hummingbirds trying to attack me. Lord have mercy.
The things to watch out for.
Things to watch out for. But the one thing I really wanted to say, you said something that sparked another thing. A lot of people are always talking about how these products are too heavy for their hair.
Mm-hmm.
And I have found that, and they'll go back to saying, I'm using this grease. And I'm like, grease is one of the heaviest things you can use. But what it is to keep your curls together, you need some kind of weight. I used to use another product called Pinky Curly,
mm-hmm.
and I loved it. It was basically 2 or 3 products I could use, and my curls were like, I have tiny ringlets, and it like individualized my curls, and it blew in the wind, but my hair started breaking off, and there's no real reason because it doesn't have any alcohol in it or anything. but my hair just literally started breaking off and I had to stop using it. But I also found that it didn't work with any moisturizer. It would not curl if I use a moisturizer. So there's something to weighing my hair down a little bit in the beginning of the week so that as the week progresses, I get the curls I want. You know, it's kind of like when you go to the beauty parlor, the first day everything's all tight and then it relaxes over the week. You know? So I don't know. That works for me. I don't know if it works for other people, but I don't discount a product just because it seems weighty at first. It may be the amount you use, or you may not have put it on with water. I find that using these products with your hair soaking wet tends to make them work better.
Yeah, it's
I
just
wet my
like
hair every day.
Really? In the shower?
In the shower, I wet it every
Does
single
it
day.
take out the product, or do
I
you
just
have
put
to keep
but I don't have to apply as much. I can apply like just a little bit every day. But when I put a lot of oil in my hair, I don't have to apply it as much. Sometimes I can just put a little water on it and just like a little tiny bit of product back in to get it to curl back.
Okay. Well, sorry. I mean, you gave a lot of tips already, but I did want to go into the Curly 5. It's like 5 questions I ask every guest.
Okay.
So, okay. Number 1, if you could only have one hair product, what would it be? It could be specific or general.
Oh God, one? It'd have to be my wing.
Yeah.
I would give everything up just to have my wing. I mean, I love you, Miss Jessie's, but
you're gonna need to wash your hair, you know.
I gotta wash my hair, and you know, I have a soft afro with the wind, so I could live with that.
You just have to wash it every day.
Every day, but see, I can also leave that in.
Yeah,
and conditioner. So
that product is really nice.
Yeah, don't believe the hype, y'all. It does not take your hair out.
No, I didn't have any problems with it. It was so easy to like detangle my hair with the conditioner. You had a huge bottle, so I could just like use as much as I actually needed instead of being like.
Yep, I bought 2 1-gallon bottles.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting that.
I bought 2 gallon bottles like 5 years ago, and I'm still using it.
That's pretty good.
Yep. So I'm gonna save up my tax refund so I can buy it again this summer. From the QVC. Yes.
Oh my gosh. All right, number 2, wash and goes or twist outs?
Wash and goes, baby, any day.
Yeah, I was like, we already said this. Number 3, if you could go back in time, what would you say to your younger self about your hair?
It's okay to like your curls. It's okay to like your hair.
Did you always have your hair straightened as a child?
Yes. I hated it.
Oh.
I hated it. I think I started getting perms around the time I was like, I think right around elementary school, because it was just too much for my mom. It was too much. My hair was too thick.
Yeah. And there weren't any products really that you knew to use.
It was a press and curl. That's what we got. It was like actually on the menu, a press and curl. Wash, press and curl, $25.
Yeah. Number 4, what's one tip or trick that you've learned with your hair, or one more?
Combing it upside down to get the tangles out of the back.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. In the shower, I usually flip my hair head over and comb it upside down. That way I start at the ends and then work my way backwards, and it's a lot easier on my hair and my hands. Because I get, especially having some health issues, I can get to the nape of my neck a lot easier. So I'll start back there and brush the small pieces out first, and then I can get like the part that you hate to do the most, and you're tired by the time you get there. I start there with my head flipped over. What? So I learned something from white girls.
Oh my gosh. You be doing all kinds of different methods. You emulsifying stuff in your hands, and then you flipping your head, and it's a whole body process.
See, you get a workout and a hairdo. It's all at the same time. But emulsifying actually makes the product work better and makes it last longer. Emulsifying activates a lot of your products, and a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and the last one is, what is some advice you would give to someone looking to start embracing their natural hair?
I would say don't get discouraged. It takes time to find the rhythm for your hair, and products change, so be ready to change. You know, sometimes the product changes and it doesn't work anymore, and it's okay to move on, or your hair gets healthier and it needs something else. And don't be afraid to do that, but know that higher quality ingredient products cost more, and invest in yourself to do that. I guess that's more than one advice, but I was never so happy when Target started selling Miss Jessie's and I didn't have to order it anymore. I literally did like a hallelujah praise dance for that. And when they started selling it in stores, I was so happy because I didn't have to wait 6 weeks for it to be shipped out. But, you know, I've tried other products, and I've tried products where my hair would look nice, but it would flake, it would get dry, it wasn't healthy. I tried to go back to shampoo after wearing, my hair was like, we're going on strike if you do that again. I don't know what you were thinking. And I tried just washing it with plain, nice conditioners. My hair still wouldn't do it. It's okay. It's okay if your hair, this is my other advice to everybody, you know, whether you're starting out or you've been doing it a long time. A lot of us go into it with we see a picture and we want to look like that picture. But that's not our hair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And love your hair for what it does, and let your hair, it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of like having a cat. Your cat is not a dog. Your cat's going to do what it does, right? Let your cat be your cat. You got to let your hair be your hair and embrace what it does and find the happiness in that, instead of trying to force your hair to do what Michelle's hair does, or what, you know, Sisters to Go hair does, or whatever, or what the weave packets that you bought last week does. You know, it's your hair is amazing and beautiful and wonderful just the way it is. And there's no right or wrong to it. But moisturize it, though. Moisturize. No reason around going with an ashy. So, you know.
Yeah, and take care of it.
Take care of it. Nurture it. Love it.
That's true. I mean, it's like, you know, you kind of, you know this. You're like, yeah, I know. But it's like, you know, those thoughts do creep up on you. Even me, just like throughout time, like, you know, and then like, this is always good to hear, like, even for me, like all the different things you do with your hair and all the different tips you gave. It's like a good reminder that, you know, there's still hope for because I was about ready to shave all my hair off and just be
I get there some days still. I've been natural for over a decade, and I still get there. Like, I'm cutting this off and going back to braids. Like, you know, it's important to let your hair rest too. Like, sometimes you need braids just to give your hair a break from manipulating it.
Yeah.
Like, I'll probably this summer go back to getting what do you call those things? Crochet just for a couple of weeks. Just
crochet braids? Or did you have hair?
I had crochet hair. I had braids one time, and I had crochet hair the next time. But just to give my hair a little bit of a break, you know, trim your ends, you know, do the things that you need to do to make your hair grow, and don't fall for those crazy, you know, Dr. Miracles. What if it stinks and you don't want to smell it? Don't put that mess in your hair. Like, it does not have to smell bad to make your hair grow. Oh, this is another thing. I don't know if you'll be able to fit this in though, but a lot of us, because we leave a lot of water in our hair, this is something I didn't get to, is there's a high incidence of us having fungus in our hair, which is actually what is taking our hair out.
Oh.
So every once in a while, you do need to cleanse it with something that will kill fungus, which is, we've taken a lot of the sulfurs out, we've taken a lot of the PPEs out. That doesn't kill that fungus. So sometimes you really do need it. And I have found
the clarifying shampoos.
Yeah, but actually I have found that when I had that problem, because I lived in a house with a lot of mold and it got everywhere, including my hair, wind actually killed it. And I think it's because it has natural plant extracts in it. Things like pineapple, things like aloe, things like that, will naturally cleanse it without being stripping. But that's the reason those things like alcohol and things are in your products, is also because it cleanses it. But you need to look at where it is in your product line. If it's number one, that is a cheap product. Yeah.
And then you don't need those like every time you wash your hair.
No, but I do. I wash it with, it's just high quality ingredients are going to have things that kill things naturally. But my hair stays wet a lot. So I did not even realize until I moved out of that house that I had that fungal issue in my hair. And that's when my hair was looking dry and brittle. And that's probably a whole other episode of, because the fungus looks just like hair. It feels like hair, it just feels a little rougher. But that's been a huge problem, and they've done some papers on it about why this incidence in Black women are going up about having fungal issues in their hair. And I personally believe it's tied into how much, because they love water. So that's something we need to be on the lookout for, and making sure that the products we're using is getting rid of any chance of having fungus in our hair. So make sure that your hair does get 100% dry at some point, so that will go away. And look at that as a source of maybe why your hair is breaking and not growing, and maybe seeing a doctor to see if that is an issue with your hair, because that is a very possible thing that a lot of us don't think about, because we're like, well, I'm washing my hair, how could it have fungus in it? But that stuff is everywhere. And it's opportunistic. It's the same kind of fungus that's like athlete's foot. So, it's just a thought. It's kind of a dark thought to leave with, but it was.
Yeah, you're scaring me.
No, it's an easy thing. We're taking such good care of our hair, but at the same time, it's something that we don't think about because we're not educated about it. And so in all of this, getting your hair to do what it wants to do, make sure that you're using good products that have those things in them, that have good plant extracts and good, I can't even find my wind bottle now, but it has, like, I use mango and coconut, two things that are known to kill fungus.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I can't use lime, but citrus, it doesn't like citrus. It doesn't like coconut. It doesn't like, so a lot of us are using coconut and mango and papaya and things like that in our hair, which will kill that fungus, but we have to use the right amount and enough times. That's why I like to do it twice a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming on the show and sharing all your tips and
crazy stories.
Reminding us, crazy stories, and reminding us, if you kind of know things like how to do it, like how to get your hair to go down. That was good to hear. And you were just really honest. It was just like, your hair isn't going to look like somebody's hair on Instagram all the time.
So true.
Your hair is going to look like how it's supposed to look. Yeah. And that's okay,
It's okay. You're awesome. You're awesome who you are. You don't need to look like anybody else.
Yeah. So I don't know if you have any like social media that you want to share, but I usually let the guests share.
I'm in a lull right now. I'll be doing some things later with my ATBT play page on Facebook, which I'm trying to get my play redone.
All the beautiful
things play that I'm trying to get redone this year so I can enter the Pulitzer. But, as a writer, I'm starting to get back into my writing, and I think I'm reassessing as a writer what's important to me. And this is a topic that's really important to me without making it controversial, just sharing our stories and being okay with our stories and not having shame associated with it.
Yeah.
There's such a shame about our hair, and it doesn't need to be shameful. Black hair doesn't need to be shameful.
Yeah, and it's such like a mystery because it's not, talked about or shared as much or in-depthly shared,
It's always shared with fear. If you go natural, you're not going to get a job. So that's changed now, and it's okay to explore it. And we don't have the same world that our parents and grandparents grew up in. And, we can start sharing these things honestly about what our hair means. And I really believe that, just being honest with ourselves about what we want to look like and who we are and who we want to represent as ourselves doesn't need to look like, we don't still have to look like a white girl or an Indian or this or that to be accepted. And sometimes we don't need to change the culture. We just need to change the culture. Does that make sense? Like, stop fighting it. Just go with your natural hair, because when that was confronted to me when I worked somewhere, they were like, well, your hair. I was like, well, is your hair natural? Then mine can be too.
Yeah.
Is that what your hair looks like?
This is my hair.
That's what
part of me.
That's what your hair looks like when it comes out. This is what my hair looks like when it comes out. Why is that a problem? And when you confront it like that, people back off. You don't have to hold picket lines and sit-ins and things like that. It's just one person at a time and being confident in who you are. And we're not confident because we are always trying to hide ourselves. And our hair is one of the things for all women that creates a lot of pride and a lot of shame. So I just would like for our hair to be one thing that helps us be our truer selves. All for them days sitting in the beauty parlor for 12 hours on a Saturday. Everybody else out playing. I'm out at the beauty parlor trying to get my hair done before Sunday service. So, so I guess that's it. Thank you so much for having me. I don't know what else. I could go on and on because I've had plenty of years about hair, but really it just comes down to, I think, a part of our self-esteem that's not been allowed to grow. And like, I didn't even realize how important it was to me until I started talking to you about this. So I really appreciate you having me on because it taught me something as well. So that's awesome.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it always turns in. I'm always surprised too. Like, by the end of the episodes, it's like I feel more of like a meaning and a like something behind this. Like, it feels really big, like bigger than just, oh, I don't know what to do with my hair, like, oh, just my hair. Like, no, it's like way bigger than that. And it's just like, I don't know, a feeling, I guess, a confidence, like you were saying.
Yeah, I've always loved my curls. I've always wanted to be natural and have my curls and let my hair be whatever it wants to be. And I still have my mama in my head. You can't go out the house with your hair looking like that. And I have to like silence that voice every single day of my life.
I have that too. Oh, you look woofy headed. No, this is just my hair and it dried and I didn't get the products on it yet, but it's just my hair. Okay, it's fine.
And I'm like, yes, I do look woolly headed. Hallelujah. At least I don't look bald headed. Thank you. Would you rather, like, I told my mom one time, like,
same hair I got from you, mama.
Your hair. My mom would be like, no, that's your daddy's hair. You got that from Butch Henry. It's true though, y'all. It's true. I got my daddy's hair. I do.
Oh my gosh.
It's true. I got most of my things. I look like my mom in the face, but everything else came from my daddy's side of the family. So,
thank the Lord.
This hair. Thank the Lord. For real. For real.
Thank you. And thank you for coming on the show. We had a really good conversation.
As always.
That was so good having her on. Masha had so many good tips that you don't always think about, Here's a few takeaways. By a few, I mean 10. So just in case you didn't take those notes, I got you. Number 1, good hair is the hair on your head. And don't forget that one. That's the most important. That's why it's number 1. Number 2, emulsify the product in your hands to get the product active. I'm going to have to try that out. Number 3, make sure you keep your hair moisturized. Number 4, you probably have different textures on your head, and those different textures might have different porosities, as I've learned. And apparently that's okay. It's just more work, more money, it's fine. But just make sure to be attentive to those different parts. So if you're like me, we got a lot to learn. We got a lot to try out. Stay tuned to my YouTube channel because I'll be trying out a lot of new methods. Number 5, use the butters and the creams to add the moisture. Number 6, dead hair is over-processed and over-manipulated shed hair that may be stuck in your hair. So detangling is needed to get it out. Obviously, I mean, most people know that. It's just kind of like a term for it. Number 7, natural hair is high maintenance. So if you thought that it was going to be easy, cheap, sometimes it might be. Once you get the hang of what you're doing, it definitely could be easy. It's just like a learning process. You got to learn it. Number 8, your hair is temperamental. What you eat, drink, and when your hormones change and the environment, it all affects your hair. Number 9, keep your scalp clean and stimulated by massages. Number 10, black hair doesn't need to be shameful. Be confident in yourself, stop fighting it, and go with your natural hair. And that wraps up episode 8 of the Proud and Curly podcast. If you felt like this episode was helpful, it had lots of gems in here, so I'm sure you could share this with someone who needs to hear it. Please do, and go ahead and check out the last few episodes if you haven't heard them already, and I will be talking to you guys next week. Thank you for listening. Bye. All right, that's it for today's episode. Thank you so much for listening to the Proud and Curly podcast. If you like the podcast, please show your support by leaving a rating on the Apple Podcast app. It helps me so much, and it also helps other people find the show. Special thanks to Terrence Esquire Huggins for producing the music in this podcast. You can always check out his website, SoundCloud, and follow him on social media at Esquire Music 111. All of his links are in the show notes. If you're looking for more curly content, be sure to follow us on Instagram. But until next Friday, stay proud and curly.